Let's learn how to play the presidential board game. You see the game set out before you. If you want to see how to set this up, just check out my short on set up the presidential board game. So let's take a look at the board first. You'll see that the United States is here with all of the states in different colors, and you have numbers with each state. This represents the electoral votes for that state. Your objective in this game is to win 270 electoral votes for your presidential party. So there will be two teams, one Republican team, one Democratic team, and you are managing a campaign to win as many electoral votes as you can. So let's talk about how you win those votes. So the whole premise of the game is to get votes in certain states. So let's say the Republicans get 3 votes in Wisconsin, and then the Democrats get 6 votes in Wisconsin, and we'll talk more about how you get those votes in a moment. You don't show the total number of votes, you show the difference between the two, and the color represented on the state is the color that has won, is the party that won. So if the Democrats get 6 votes, then you'll take those 3 votes off of the Republicans, and you'll replace them with 3 votes from the Democrats, because 6 minus 3 equals 3. So let's talk about how we get those votes. So there are 30 turns in a game to represent 30 weeks before election, and each week each party gets to either campaign or fundraise. You'll notice that there are 4 states, California, Texas, Florida, and New York, that have like a dollar bill type look to it. These are the states that you can fundraise in. But we're going to start off with campaign. So to start the game off, you roll to see who goes first. So the Democrats would go first in this case. And then the parties get to choose whether they're going to campaign or whether they're going to fundraise. Let's say the Democrats start off campaigning. Now you can campaign in these fundraising states, but you can also fundraise, but you cannot fundraise in these other states. So let's say we're going to start campaigning. We're going to do California, Illinois, and Pennsylvania. So the Democratic Party would take all 3 dice, they would roll all 3 dice, and then they have, each dice represents the number of votes they can put in different states. So they have 5 votes, 5 votes, and 1 vote. Well, since in this case California is worth the most, they're going to put 5 votes in California. And then those 2 are equal, Illinois, Pennsylvania, doesn't matter. Let's say we put 5 in Illinois and 1 in Pennsylvania. And that's the end of the Democrats' first week. At the end of each turn, if you're using the score sheet, which to be fair, I find to be very cumbersome and inefficient, I would recommend that you use the website that comes with the board game. There's a code in the instructions. But if you opt to use the score sheet that's provided because you want to be analog, then at the end of each turn, so this would be the end of 1 week, you would tally up the electoral votes that the Democratic Party won, and you put that in the plus. Any electoral votes that they lost, you would put in the minus, and then you would tally those up, provide a number there, and then you would put the number of electoral votes that the Republicans gained in the plus for the red, whatever electoral votes they lost in the minus, and then you would do the total between those 2 there. And you would do this for all 30 turns, and then at the end you determine who won by tallying up these numbers. But you have to be really on it throughout the game if you're going to use that. Like I said, I would recommend using the website. So that's round 1. So then it's the Democrats' turn again. Let's say they choose to fundraise, and Texas is looking pretty hot there, so they probably don't want to go for that, although maybe they do. So we're going to try for Florida as the Democratic Party. So for fundraising, you take 2 dice, and you roll those 2 dice, and so you total the 2 dice in this case. So you have 7 votes, and you have to put at least half in Florida. Now, since this is an odd number, and you have to put at least half, and you can't do a half vote, then you're going to have to put at least 4 in Florida, and then you can either put all 7 in Florida, or you could choose to put the other votes. You can put them all in another state, so let's say Michigan, or you could spread them out. You could say Michigan, Georgia, and North Carolina. You could do that as well. And then that's how you resolve the fundraising. However, you also get one of these cards, which are action cards. And these action cards give you different abilities that you can do. Now, if they don't say play immediately, you can hold on to it and use it at the end of any of your turns. Another word about these action cards. Some of them say add 4 votes. Some of them say pick up 6 votes to be used any way you like. So the way that you do the pick up, the add you just take from your bank and you add. The pick up, you pick up your own votes and you basically redistribute them. So if I had this card that said pick up 6 votes, then I might pick up 2 from here, 2 from here, maybe 3 from each. And then I would redistribute them however I wanted. Let's say I put them all in Florida. The game would continue on in that manner until you reach 30 weeks. At the end, if there are any states left unclaimed, if there are any states that do not have a marker on them, then each party rolls 1 dice for each state that remains, and whichever party has the highest roll, that party would then put a marker there. Once every state has a marker, you will tally up the final score, and whichever party gains 270 electoral votes, that's the party that wins. All right, well, I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Thank you for watching. Remember, read, roll, repeat. Thank you.